Hi, good morning, everyone. It is 9:02, so we are going to get started with today's regional forum. We have a lot to get through, but we're so excited that so many of you could join us today. Today, we are talking about connecting housing and energy, implementing energy efficiency and electrification in multifamily buildings. My name is Deborah Elliott, and I am the BayREN County Lead for Napa County, and I am co-hosting this forum with Kellen Dammann, who is the Codes and Standards Lead for Marin County. We're so happy to have you here, and we have a lot of great speakers and a lot of really interesting information to get through. So I'm going to go ahead and get started with a quick introduction and some meeting how-tos for Zoom meetings. I think by now you've all done this a few times, but just to quickly go through it, you do not need to have your video camera on. You can't turn it on, so you can just leave it off. And if you can please use the chat feature to interact with the panelists and other participants, that would be great. And please use the question and answer box or raise your hand if you have a question or a comment. You can hold off on raising your hands until we are in the question and answer period, and then we can call on you and allow you to speak. But if you put a Q&A in, you can put that in anytime, and the panelist will be able to respond to that. And we will break for questions at the end of each session. So just so you know, the chat is on the lower left-hand side, the Q&A button is on the right side, and the raise hand is in the middle of the toolbar. So what is BayREN? BayREN is a collaborative of the 9 Bay Area counties. We receive funding from the California Public Utilities Commission, and we really try and cover all of these really broad areas of implementation. Today, we will be talking about a lot of these, how climate action and electrification and energy efficiency can all benefit buildings as we are planning buildings and implementing these projects. So we're going to do a quick introduction for each of the county representatives. And today I have a question for them all to answer. So I'm going to ask the question, and then I'm going to ask Emily Alvarez to start by introducing herself. So this forum is about bringing together different efforts to support improving both sustainability and housing. What's one example where people have been able to come together on these, or what advantages do you see of connecting these? Emily, go ahead.
Hi everyone, I'm Emily Alvarez from Stop Waste, who's the Alameda County BayREN representative. My background is as a city planner, and so I really enjoyed the opportunities to connect these two topics because they really are interrelated. We can't really have housing that doesn't meet our climate goals, but we also need housing that does work well with our housing goals. So one example of that in Alameda County is we have monthly meetings of what's called our technical advisory group, which is the sustainability staff of all of our cities and the unincorporated county in Alameda County. And at the end of January, we had a joint meeting with planning staff and sustainability staff to talk about the intersection of sustainability and housing in their housing elements and how those two things might work well together. And it was a really inspiring discussion. And I feel like I learned a lot. And there's just, so much we can learn from each other and goals that we can accomplish when we work together.
Great. Thanks, Emily. Damien?
Yeah, thank you, Deborah, and thanks, Emily. That was great. My name is Damien Hardman Saldana. I'm with Contra Costa County. I'm the BayREN lead for the county on all things BayREN. And I would say probably the most routine thing we do in terms of connecting housing with our energy efficiency programs is really through our housing elements. So I every year get a request from our housing staff team to provide all the BayREN, all the rebate information, how many homes were completed. So I give them that information. I coordinate with our housing team quite routinely, and I'm also very involved in providing feedback on the updates to our housing element on our energy efficiency side. So there's definitely coordination there, but I am definitely exploring doing that coordination more broadly with all the other cities in the county in the future to try to help kind of have some consistency across the board. But thank you.
Thanks, Damien. And now our co-host, Kellen.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Kellen Dammann with the County Marin Sustainability Team. Our office is in the Community Development Agency, and we're actually pretty lucky to sit next to our federal grants and housing division with the County Marin. So we work with them on including language about energy efficiency programs in the housing element. And we also work on outreach for our various rebate programs. And it's great to work with them and break down those barriers and make sure that these programs are getting out to those projects as well. So thanks everybody for being here today.
Thanks, Kellen. And I'll jump in with Napa County. I moved from Public Works to the Planning Department about 18 months ago, and that has been just a great opportunity to be able to kind of talk to the planners when they're doing the housing element and other projects and talk to them about the different opportunities with BayREN. So I'm excited to kind of see how we move forward with this in Napa County. And Barry from San Francisco.
Good morning. Great to be here. Two things that inspire me in San Francisco is in the recently released climate action plan. Housing was called out as it received its own chapter because of its importance and value for reducing environmental impacts by simply locating housing in San Francisco, as well as all the details that this forum is going to elucidate. At the smaller scale, I'm really excited by how frequently affordable housing development leads the way in terms of sustainability and provides examples that are then adopted by market rate.
Thanks, Barry. And Ivana from San Mateo County.
Good morning. My name is Ivana, and I'll just be highlighting an example from San Mateo County, a program that's been around for a few years. It's called Home for All. And it's a great example of where we're addressing housing policy to also benefit climate-related emissions reduction. So Home for All is really a collaborative, and it's comprised of San Mateo County, other local jurisdictions in the county, school districts, community-based organizations, and faith-based organizations as well. And it's a countywide initiative that's looking to implement and deploy a variety of strategies to help close this sort of gap in housing availability that we experience throughout the Bay Area. And so it includes, some of these strategies include community conversations and public engagement around housing topics. So kind of building a political will and atmosphere around housing development, but it's also produced some really tangible outputs like toolkits and programming specifically related to second units. And so there's a whole range of publications and stuff like that on our website. But in addition to that, there's also some educator and workforce development or housing development educational materials too that the program's developed. So anyway, that's one great example.
Great, thank you.
Yeah.
So our representatives from Santa Clara County and Solano County can't be here today, so we'll move on to Sonoma County, please, Christine.
Good morning. My name is Christine Condon, and I'm the BayREN Codes and Standards lead for Sonoma County. Sonoma County's new strategic plan has 5 main pillars, including climate action and resiliency and health and safe communities, with firm goals to provide resources, including financing, grants, education and workforce development to the community to promote and facilitate carbon neutral and fire hardened construction for new and existing homes, and to develop and support permanent supportive housing and affordable housing. And these efforts involve a collaboration uniquely across different departments and divisions in the county, including the climate and energy and sustainability divisions, general services, the building department, fire and emergency services, health services, community development, and the Economic Development Board, along with others. So it's a really unique effort to bring resilience and sustainability into the housing stock in Sonoma County. And there's a particular emphasis on multifamily. So I'm very excited to participate in this forum today. Thank you.
Thanks, Christine. And then I just want to do a quick introduction of Karen Christensen, who's our ABAG lead for the Codes and Standards program. Karen, do you want to just say hi?
Sure. Yeah, I'm Karen Christensen. I work at ABAG MTC and I lead BayREN's Codes and Standards program. And For this topic, one example I think we're going to hear more about in the forum that's happening on the regional level is the incorporation of energy and other environmental issues into Plan Bay area. So I'm really excited about that because how buildings deal with energy seems key, not just for addressing the climate challenge, but also the quality of both new and existing housing. So I'm really excited to hear and learn about this topic more at the forum today. So thanks, Deborah.
Thanks, Karen. Okay, so moving on. The BayREN has a few different programs. We have single family, green labeling, multifamily programs, BayREN business, water upgrade saves, and codes and standards. Today, this program comes from codes and standards, but we will be talking a lot about multifamily buildings, and you'll hear about this Bay Area Multifamily Building Enhancement, or BAMBI program. Codes and standards has two broad areas of effort. One is compliance improvement, and the other one is policy. Today, we'll be looking more at the policy lens. We also offer REACH code support. So this is for jurisdictions who are working on REACH codes. We know there's a lot of you this year. There's some information there, and you can reach out to your county representative if you need more information on that. There's also energy code training. So we offer a lot of trainings. Most of them are through Zoom now, but we're getting back to offering them in person as well for building department staff and other staff at jurisdictions. So again, please reach out to your BayREN county representative if you need more information on that. And we also offer municipal zero net energy or zero net carbon technical assistance. So that's for municipal buildings. And again, reach out to your county rep for more information. All presentation materials will be emailed to you, and that includes a recording. So if you need to leave early or you can't stay for the whole time, you'll get that information next week. The views expressed in these presentations are those of the authors and do not necessarily reflect the position of the Association of Bay Area Governments, the Bay Area Regional Energy Network, or the jurisdictions that BayREN represents. Any questions pertaining to the views and information in the presentations should be directed to the presentation authors. And with that, this is our agenda. So we're going to get right into it, and I'm going to pass it over to Kellen to introduce Michael.